Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right in to break down a truly powerful story, one that honestly holds the ultimate key to unlocking a quiet, peaceful mind. If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by your own thoughts, you are in the exact right place. We're going to unpack a seemingly simple parable that actually contains a surprisingly profound psychological truth. So, can one simple story actually heal your mind? I know, it sounds like a massive promise, right? But we're going to see exactly how this works by looking at the journey of a young guy named Marco. By zooming in on his experience and breaking down the very specific steps he was forced to take, we're going to discover the literal mechanism that turns mental chaos into total clarity. Part 1. The burden of restless thoughts and the storm inside Marco's mind. Get this. Marco is only 24 years old, just 24. Yet his mind is just overloaded. It's so bad that he's entirely unable to sleep, he can never just sit and feel calm, and honestly, the poor guy has completely forgotten how to smile. His youth is basically being eclipsed by the sheer exhausting weight of his own racing thoughts. And this brilliantly illustrates the trap he's in. His mind is caught in this brutal cycle, constantly bouncing back and forth like a pendulum. On one side, he feels this immense, heavy sadness about his past. On the other side, relentless, buzzing worry about the future. There's zero middle ground here. He's just stuck in a storm of what already happened and what might happen next, completely disconnected from right now. Part 2, Journey to the Wise Man, seeking a psychologist in the hills. Now, what's really interesting here is that the mentor Marco is seeking out isn't just some mystic on a mountain. He actually used to be a famous psychologist in a really busy city. He spent his whole career helping people find peace in their minds. But as he got older, he left that chaotic city life to live quietly, close to nature. So keep in mind, the advice he gives isn't magic. It's heavily rooted in behavioral psychology. So after many long, exhausting days of travel, Marco finally reaches the village. He finds this small house covered in greenery, and there's the old man, just sitting on the porch, eyes closed, looking incredibly peaceful. Marco walks up and softly pleads with him. He says, "Grandfather, my mind is so restless. I cannot stop thinking. I just want peace in my heart. Can you help me?" The psychologist slowly opens his eyes, gives a calm little smile, and invites Marco into his yard. Part 3. The Impossible Water Challenge, a behavioral intervention. Okay, let's dive into this test because the parameters are incredibly strict. First, the old man fills a glass with water completely to the top. To the absolute brim, so full that even a tiny twitch would make it spill. Next, Marco has to walk from the yard all the way down to the edge of the village and then come back. And the kicker? He cannot spill even one single drop. Marco is pretty surprised, obviously, but he's eager to prove himself, so he accepts the challenge. Now, you have to picture this environment. It is not built for an easy stroll. It's this narrow, super busy road with people constantly moving past. But Marco, he walks slowly, very carefully. Shopkeepers are yelling out, dogs are barking everywhere, but he doesn't even look around. There are literally kids playing right next to him on the side of the road, but his eyes stay locked entirely on that glass. Step by careful step, he completely tunes out the chaos. Against all odds, he pulls it off. Marco successfully navigates the chaos and returns triumphantly to the porch. He proudly announces, "Grandfather, I did it! I didn't spill even one drop of water." The old man smiles and nods. But then, he asks a series of totally unexpected questions. He asks, "Did you see the children playing? Did you hear the dogs barking?" Marco is stunned. He admits he didn't see or hear any of it, simply because he was 100% focused on the glass. Part 4. The Secret of the Present, breaking down the psychology. So the crucial point is right here. The old man gently reveals the secret to Marco. He says, when your mind stays in the present moment, then there is no space for fear, no confusion, and no extra thoughts. Think about it. Because Marco is pouring every single ounce of his cognitive energy into balancing that water, his brain literally did not have the bandwidth to run its usual background programs of anxiety and depression. The present moment is really just a state of intense, current focus. By zeroing in on that glass so intensely, Marco's mind accidentally became completely quiet. That heavy sadness about his past vanished. The buzzing fear of his future totally evaporated.
He basically stumbled into the exact peace he had traveled so far to find, all because he was forced to anchor deeply in the now.
Part 5. How to calm your mind. Applying the parable today. Let's move to and see how this builds into actionable steps. How do we actually apply this in our own noisy modern lives? Well, if your mind is racing, practice focusing entirely on a single task, just like Marco did with the water. Block out the external noise and the metaphorical barking dogs of your daily routine. Realize that true peace isn't something you find outside yourself, in a new city or a different job. It's actually already inside you. To get to that real calm, you just have to train your mind to stay right here, in the present moment.
We're going to leave you with this final provocative thought. As Marco walked back home that evening, he was no longer that restless young guy. He had fundamentally changed because he finally knew how to master his own mind. So, when that storm of past regrets and future worries starts brewing in your head, ask yourself, what will your glass of water be today? What single focused task are you going to use to anchor yourself right back into the present moment as soon as this explainer ends? Find your glass, focus your mind, and uncover that peace that's already inside you.